Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about the Snyderverse again.
Yeah, this keeps coming.
It just keeps
the news,
on
I mean.
Yeah, well, it's not
the
coming.
Snyderverse.
It's not coming. That's the thing. Zack Snyder saying that Warner Brothers has been aggressively anti-Snyder. And we did a video the other day how he talked about how going on YouTube live streams, he thought he was going to get sued. And we've seen Ann Sarnoff go out and say that the Snyder Cut fans are terrible people. They're toxic fans. Mm-hmm. I mean, they clearly do not want to continue the Snyderverse. I know a lot of people are pushing for restore the Snyderverse.
Why do that when you can make... Why make money when you can just do more of the same shit they've been putting out that people keep making fun of?
Yeah, let's just bring J.J. Abrams in and just reboot everything and make some controversial decisions.
Yes, but why not? We're not in business for money.
Why not? Even though the Snyder Cut of Justice League did bring down the servers at HBO Max.
Right.
And they keep downplaying that too. Like they're not bragging. I mean, this is very clear that there are people at Warner that do not like Zack Snyder's movies. They don't like his take. I don't think they were expecting the Snyder Cut to be as big as it was.
I think some people approved it earlier on, and then other people came in, they were pissed, and they couldn't undo it, so they're just going to stop it from now on. Meanwhile, other movies they've done have not performed, and by the sounds of the changes coming, those aren't going to perform either.
No.
And then they're going to be like, what the hell? Why are we making any money? I don't understand it. I'm not saying Zack Snyder is always the best person for everything. But I'm just saying, they haven't been performing. They get something that kind of performs, and then they're like, kill it.
I think it's a lot of it is about narrative. Because look, we talked about the Snyder Cut sort of, it's kind of like Alita and kind of like, Gina Carano, The Mandalorian. It's become sort of, the fans versus the studios, and the fans want this and the fans want that. And it was a huge win for fans to finally get the Snyder Cut. And a lot of media outlets thought that was problematic.
Yeah, so everybody complained, and now they're like listening to Twitter, and same old.
Good luck with that. So we're going to talk about it. Zack Snyder said that Warner Brothers has been aggressively anti-Snyder. Before we get into it, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We're over 188,000 subs. Thank you so much for this. Yeah, where's a woohoo? Woohoo! See, I don't woohoo when I'm by myself.
Sorry.
I only woohoo with you.
Oh, well, you better only woohoo with me.
So we're going to talk about this on IGN. IGN, which actually, weirdly enough, has been more balanced lately.
A lot of these outlets have been lately. I mean, it was that last couple months, especially
when the ad revenue started to run out and the audiences.
We better start getting more newsy.
Yeah, it's like we can't talk about Trump every day. So what are we gonna do? Oh my God, we actually have to talk about pop culture objectively.
Oh, I know. Heads are exploding. Anyway.
Yeah. So here we go. Zack Snyder says Warner Brothers has been aggressively anti-Snyder. Clearly, they're not interested in my take. Now, he said before that they didn't want him. He's actually made comments on social media that Warner did not want him at all. So Justice League director Zack Snyder confirmed that Warner Brothers hasn't shown any interest in the Snyderverse. According to Screen Rant, Snyder appeared on Jake's Takes to promote his upcoming Netflix movie Army of the Dead, though he also reflected on the Snyder Cut of Justice League, which was released on HBO Max. While touching on the subject, he revealed his hopes for Warner Brothers to take notice of the continuing campaign to restore the Snyderverse. Warner Brothers has been aggressively anti-Snyder, if you will. He admitted, reinforcing the studio's stance on his DCEU. What can I say? Clearly, they're not interested in my take, but I would also say they certainly weren't interested in, I would have said originally, in my take on Justice League. They certainly made decisions about that.
They're also under fire for being racist and all this other crap too. And a lot of people said the same thing I did and you did, which was it feels like they're trying to be like, we're not racist. Oh look, Black Superman.
Yeah, so we can mention that. We didn't do a specific video on Gal Gadot coming out and backing up Ray Fisher's claims. Now, again, if you watch earlier videos I did on Ray Fisher, at first I was like, okay, you've got complaints. Where's the proof? Yeah. Like, so far it's just you're not giving any examples. And I was like, dude, you're going to burn your career down.
And what got me was how long it took for people to come out and give examples. You know what I mean? They didn't come out right away. Like, it took other news hitting for them to be like, well, now that you mention it.
Yeah, so Gal Gadot came out and said that Joss Whedon threatened her career during Justice League, so that's kind of crazy.
Like a lovely person.
And then we had, most of the cast of Buffy throwing him under the wheels of the bus. So it sounds like he's a garbage person. Now, that doesn't mean that everything Ray Fisher is saying is necessarily because they did do an investigation.
Or any of these people are saying it's 100% true. Right. We don't know. It's just a little weird.
But it helps your case when you've got more people coming out and being like, yeah, you know what? He actually is a garbage person. You might have multiple truths. You might be that, maybe some people were complaining about things that were kind of industry standard, but also Joss Whedon is a terrible person.
But but this is like Warner Brothers, and it doesn't sound like they're exactly making the best
smart
decisions as of late.
Yeah, so we'll go down this rabbit hole and then we'll go back to Zack Snyder. But she said that echoing the remarks of others about Whedon's alleged behavior, Gadot has previously acknowledged her own run-in with Whedon, but she merely said at the time she had an experience with him, which wasn't the best one, but I took care of it there. When it happened, I took it to higher-ups. So she talked to Israeli news outlet N12, and she elaborated. He kind of threatened my career and said if I did something, he would make my career miserable, and I just took care of it instead. What exactly?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not saying, but...
Whedon denied any wrongdoing. In this case, look, usually... we try to give the benefit of the doubt to people that, when you have a bunch of people coming forward and with evidence and there isn't anything to, it's not really evidence. It's like flim-flam evidence, like so-and-so.
Or like so-and-so said, or,
Right. We have a lot of people coming forward and saying Joss Whedon, and they're not saying he was like, sexually abusive or anything like that. They're basically saying he's a complete douchebag. Mm-hmm. He's a douchebag, he's a bully, and we don't want to work with him. That is the allegation, and it seems to be the case. It seems to be real. I mean, when you even got, Buffy, like, he made those people. He made their career, and they threw him under the wheels of the bus. Right. They're like, yeah, he is a douchebag. So it's like it is what it is.
Somebody could also argue they're all just jumping on the bandwagon too. But there's been a lot of detail. Like, I mean, at first there weren't, and then was it Charisma Carpenter came out and then made comments, and kind of people were to her, and then after that happened, other people from Buffy started saying stuff. Then you see like Gal Gadot coming out and stuff like that.
It seems to me like some people, they don't want to get involved because they know if you say anything about a situation like this, you're going to get dragged through the media, whatever.
Right, you don't want to risk your chances of getting in films.
Yeah, and Gal Gadot, I mean, she seems to be pretty professional usually, so I think she's like, yeah, I took care of it. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want, I still
handled it. It's done.
I don't want to be, I still want to be Wonder Woman. Despite what Twitter says, I still want to be Wonder Woman. So, so she kind of backed up the situation. So the hashtag Restore the Snyderverse started trending on social media soon after Snyder's Justice League was released, with over a million tweets, a million tweets calling for Warner Brothers to allow the director to finish his DCEU plan, which I would have liked to have seen. Snyder further acknowledged the support he has received from fans over the years, noting how he has huge respect for the massive fandom. Even though there was a little bit of an altercation about some of those live streams he went on, some of the stuff he said, but he also said he was afraid of getting sued.
So it sounded like he was just trying to,
cover his ass. Yeah. I don't know what could have been done as you go forward other than think that the fan movement is so strong in the fan community, their intentions so pure.
That's a little different than what he was kind of saying, but I don't know.
A little bit different. A little bit different. I really have this huge respect for it. I would hope that cooler heads would prevail with the studio, and that
yes, right. That's very telling. I would hope the cooler heads would prevail. Wait, so they're not happy that they crashed the servers and a lot of people were interested in it? Just because you have people interested in it doesn't automatically make it toxic. Just because, there might be a couple people within the movement that you might think are toxic doesn't make everybody who wanted the film. Now, I honestly didn't petition for it one way or the other, but I'm just saying, I would not say that it was automatically a group of toxic people just because they wanted something different than what you wanted. That itself does not indicate toxicity.
Yeah, so weird because you look at what they use to decide, in greenlighting shows and how they greenlight shows. And they always talk about they're looking for certain data, they're looking for certain markers, they're looking for you to hit a certain level. And I understand that Twitter can be gamed, and that's not really a good indication of the real world. But again, when you're crashing the server, because so many people want to watch this movie.
I had a lot of people who were like, I wasn't going to watch it because I hated the first version. And then I was like, no, it's better. And they were like, oh my gosh, it's so much better than what we got in the theater. And that was like normies, just normie people who don't even really care about this stuff. There was several that I saw that I personally know that were making comments like that.
Yeah, and I'm in that camp. I know a lot of people who watch our channel are like, no, I think the Snyder Cut was pretty awful too. Yeah, I mean, was it the DC characters I grew up with? No, but at least the movie was coherent. At least it made sense.
Yeah, it made a lot more sense. There was a lot more explain. There was a lot more explanation to it. Like, I was like, what the hell's happening? I don't even know. Why are these people living in an area where no one can be able to live there? You know, in Russia. I'm like, what? Whatever the hell it was. I was like, this doesn't even make sense. How do you get from here to here? Why is this happening? It made no sense.
Yeah, it did.
Really
the theatrical cut, and then Flash and Cyborg were basically sidelined. They were goofy sidekicks, and they actually came into their own and had a purpose in this movie. And I still don't like the way Ezra Miller runs. They
said there was a reason for it. I didn't read the article, but I saw that there was a reason. They said there actually was a reason they did that, but I didn't read what the article said because I didn't give enough of a shit to read it. Sorry, but I didn't.
He runs like Lloyd and Dumb and Dumber in the prequel movie in high school. Like, he just kind of like flails his arms. Like, I imagine, I don't know if but like, I imagine some like really like misfit kid in high school gym runs like the Flash does in the movie.
They said there was a reason, but I didn't read it because, like I said, I didn't care enough to read the article. So I'm not going to say I did because I didn't care.
The reason is Ezra Miller's never run a day in his damn life and he didn't know how to.
They said there was an actual reason, but I don't. I mean, that could be the case. Now, we're just going to retroactively say it's because of this because everybody's like, what the literal hell? But I don't know. I didn't read it. Oh.
It's like, hey, Ezra, just go out in the parking lot and you run from here to there and we're going to film you in slow-mo. And they're like, okay, that's cool. And then they go back to the studio and they're looking at it, they're like, who taught this guy how to run? This isn't how a human being runs.
No. But, the kicker is they're gonna totally like leave it up, keep taking, views for it, keep using it. They're gonna use it to leverage their other movies that are coming out.
Yeah.
And any positivity that people had gained on these characters from that, because they got to see what the characters actually were about in this version. They'll leverage the hell out of that for sure. But
they're gonna do J.J. Abrams' Justice League.
Oh, great! Is it gonna be as great as what they did to Star Wars and Star Trek?
It's gonna be the JJLA.
I'm just like, we already let him do a couple other franchises and look what happened. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's pretty much done. But it is interesting to watch because, like, I'm on the fence. Like, I get where he was coming from. He had to go on the live streams. He probably had to give a disclaimer. But at first it seemed like he was throwing fans under the bus. And I'm like, dude, you're only getting to do this because the fans said, And then after Warner Brothers basically said they're done with him now. It's like, I love the fans. The fans.
Yeah, I know.
Fans are
but
friends,
it does make sense.
food.
If that was what was going on the back end of it, that we weren't seeing that he was afraid to get sued and they're done with him. Probably was he went out and did it anyway, and so they're like, well, we're done with you because you didn't do what we wanted. That all could be possible.
Yeah, and I don't think that was because he went on the live streams. I think it was just they already knew they were going to do the J.J. Abrams verse, and
it could be, but this seems like a really dumb. I don't know. This seems so stupid to me. Or they're just mad because the fans are toxic because the media says so and Twitter says so. So you're backing them up. So we just need to get rid of all of you guys.
Or is it a case of people at Warner Brothers weren't on board with the Snyder Cut? They're using the media to paint a bad picture of the fans.
Who knows? Whatever the reason is, Warner Brothers says they're done with it. Warner Brothers is also going to put out movies that are probably more the same crap they got before, except for a couple exceptions. They've all been shitty. And they'll blame the fans. It's because you're toxic Snyder. We didn't do well because it's all the Snyderverse fans. The toxic people were sabotaging it. That's why. It wasn't because our movie was bullshit and crap and no one liked it. It was because of that small group of people that we claim was a small group of people.
Bullshit and crap. That's a lot of feces.
I know, it is.
That's a large pile of fecal matter. We're going to wrap this up. Mm-hmm. We're going to end on that happy note.
It's a redundancy.
It's a redundancy.
No, a redundancy.
A redundancy.
See?
There are a lot of redundancies at Warner Media these days. They are letting a lot of people go.
You're secretly proud of that.
Yeah.
You are. Because you should see his face. He's like, oh, that's good.
That was a good one. All right. That was a dad joke.
That was a dad joke from a mom.
Yeah. We're going to wrap it up.
Right.
Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.